Hello everyone, Tina Spalding Trance Channel here today for our 40 Days and 40 Nights with Jesus. This is day 3 in the evening, and let's see what Jesus has to say to us tonight. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one that you know as Jesus, and your journey here is an interesting one, is it not? Here we are on day 3, and already we have covered so many subjects. We have already inspired you and perhaps offended you. But what we want you to understand is that this is a time of great transformation, and it is not optional. The wheels of change are moving through your solar system, and they are moving through your society, and it is important for you to understand that the way to manage these changes is through the mind. Your feelings are generated by thoughts that you believe. Your thoughts are generated by beliefs that reside within your mind, that you agree with, or that you have agreed with at some point in the past. So when you are getting a new situation, such as you are in now, what happens is the mind will activate beliefs that have something to do with this subject. The mind will activate beliefs that you have allowed to reside within your mind unconsciously. Most of the beliefs that reside within your mind are unconscious beliefs. That means they sit there under the surface. They are not completely remote from you. You can call upon them within certain circumstances. But what's happening with this particular circumstance, this transformation, this profound transformation of your society, is that beliefs are being triggered to the surface that have never been seen before. Many of you have never lost your freedom before. Many of you have always been able to speak what you want to speak. You have never been censored before. You have never had your children's school interfered with before. You have never had your career destroyed before. So you are all entering into new experiences that are going to trigger beliefs to the surface that may surprise you. But we want to bring you above the battleground into the greater picture here, which is that you are going through an evolution on your planet. This is the Ascension Process. It has been predicted for a very, very, very long time because this is part of a grand plan. Not the COVID story. That's not part of a grand plan other than in the minds of those that have orchestrated it. But the Ascension Process is something that has been known about for a long time. Now, the Ascension Process is going to involve each one of you personally on an internal journey. That means that you are going to have brought to the surface all of your fears. You are going to have brought to the surface things that you do not want to experience, because of the extreme nature of the changes and transformations that your society is going through. If your mind is untrained, then these feelings and ideas that come to the surface may be very overwhelming or even debilitating because they are so strong. But if, however, you have trained your mind and you have come to be educated about how your feelings work, how your beliefs work, and how your thoughts are manifested, then you will be able to manage them. So millions of ideas have been experienced by you in your incarnation. You came into this earth as a tiny baby, and you were born into a family that had beliefs and ideas, and they deeply indoctrinated you into those beliefs and ideas, and many of those beliefs and ideas were deeply indoctrinated into them by their parents and their parents. And so you came into this culture that you came into It's beliefs about right and wrong. It's beliefs about good and bad. It's beliefs about rich and poor. It's beliefs about healthy and unhealthy. And you were immersed in that sea of teaching when you were very, very small. And your parents taught you everything they knew. Whether it was right or wrong, they believed it was right and would benefit you. Many of the things your parents taught you were untrue. Many of the things that your parents taught you do not benefit you. And many of the things that your parents taught you were not your parents' ideas at all, but your culture's ideas or the rulers of your culture's ideas. And they were implanted in your parents' minds in school and through media systems. So there are many ideas residing in your mind that were planted in there deeply, deeply in your youth, and are foundational elements of your personality and foundational elements of what you believe to be true about reality. They are not true. Some of them are true, some of them are not true. A lot of them are not true. As you go through this ascension process, anything in your mind that is not true, loving, clear, kind, of a higher frequency is going to surface to give you the opportunity to either keep it or reject it. And this is the process that you are all in right now. You are all having thoughts and beliefs and ideas surfacing, often in the form of intense feelings, so that you may look at them and ask yourself, is this true? Does this benefit me? Do I want to keep it in my mind? Many of the beliefs that you hold are contradictory to each other. When these beliefs are triggered to the surface in your conscious mind, you will feel confused because your mind does not know which one to choose, and often you will feel fear because of this conflict. The mind wants to be at peace. It wants to know what to believe in so that it can rest. What A Course in Miracles will help you do is to separate the wheat from the chaff, separate the truth from lies, separate that from that which benefits you from that which does not benefit you. The trouble is with your own mind, if it is untrained, is that it is the mind that has let the lies live inside of it. It is the mind that believes contradictory things. So it is not a mind that can, without clarification, help you make these decisions. Sometimes people go to therapists and they get sound advice. Sometimes people go to spiritual teachers and get sound advice. But many of you are working through these interior transformations alone. This is one of the reasons that we wanted to do this 40 days and 40 nights, so that you would have somewhere to come to get some sound advice. But the truth of the matter is, your mind often is your greatest liability. It is full of propaganda. It is full of commercials. It is full of the movies that you've watched that have been indoctrinating you into certain beliefs and ideas. And so when you go searching around in your own mind, you will come up with ideas that are not yours. They are coming from advertisers. They are coming from government propaganda systems. They are coming from every commercial that you've ever watched, every movie that you have ever watched. And so now is a time for simplification. We want you to stop putting so much into your minds. We want you to stop filling up your minds with mainstream media stories, mainstream media movies, and mainstream media news. We would like you to begin to spend more time in nature, because it is there that you will get a rebalancing from the light information that is coming onto the earth at this time. There is information in sunlight. There is information in nature. There is a balancing mechanism that will work on your body-mind system when you are out in nature. One of the reasons that the society has become so urbanized is because if you urbanize people, they become a little less balanced, a little more easy to influence. When you are living in a box, an apartment that has 50 Wi-Fi signals coming into it, that is surrounded by electrical wires, that is concrete, there is no fresh air, all of these things, you are being undermined systematically. Now, we understand that you cannot just leave your apartment or your house immediately because you've come to realize that it's not a healthy environment. But you can get outside as often as possible. You can breathe fresh air as often as you are able. You can take your lunch break outside. You can read your book outside instead of inside while the weather permits. And as the weather changes, you can buy yourself some nice warm boots and a nice jacket and a nice hat, and you can get outside in the fresh air. Do this as often as possible. Turn your news stations off as often as possible. Turn your mass media movies off as often as possible. Go to A Course in Miracles. Go to these videos. Go to teachers of spirit that you admire and that bring a calming influence to you. Begin to take back the hours of your day and begin to focus your attention on peaceful, loving ideas as often as possible. So once again, we remind you of your prayer to go to bed tonight, to offer up your consciousness to loving, wise, light-filled, love-filled teachers so that they may give you instruction during your sleep time. It is a time of great opportunity when you are asleep, and remember to write down your dreams and see if you can figure out what they are telling you. I am that one that you know as Jesus, and I will see you again tomorrow morning. Okay, just want to remind you that our link to the Channeling Jesus community is below. You can go check that out and see if you're interested in joining us. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say tonight other than it's very hot here today and I'm all sweaty. I'm sure you're going to see me get more and more disheveled as the 40 days goes on. I'm not used to videotaping at night. I'm not really much of a night person. So this is requiring a bit more discipline from me, and obviously it will require a bit more discipline from you, but it will be worth it. Thank you for joining me tonight. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye.